My name is Vincent and I'm the CMO.
My name is Nicholas, I'm also the CMO.
My name is Julio, I'm the CFO.
I'm Alex, I'm the CTO.
And I'm Savion, the CEO of AutoCotics. Now, many times as a group, we've wondered how people get access to car parts that aren't for your average Joe's car, or in other words, modified car parts. Upon some research, we found some ways. These ways were things going on sites such as eBay Motors or AutoZone. However, every time we went onto these sites, we found ourselves overwhelmed. And this was due to the fact that they did not stick to one demographic. They allowed everybody and anybody to list car parts. So they had a wide range that was just too overwhelming to look at. And on top of that, the only sites that we could sell, which was very few, we were afraid that our products weren't going to be purchased due to the lack of exposure. Therefore, we thought to ourselves, how could we improve on this? How could we make this better? How could we solve this problem? Well, the first step would be actually making it easier to navigate. So we thought if we stick to one demographic, then there would be a smaller range of car parts listed. Our demographic happened to be car enthusiasts, because car enthusiasts are commonly and oftenly working on their cars, and their car parts are expensive. But we'll get into that a little later in our financial model. Since we went with car enthusiasts, we thought to ourselves, AutoCotics is an app that will allow car enthusiasts to buy, sell, and trade car parts with one another.
Now, how do we know this is an actual real problem? Well, people that I know, such as my dad, struggle with selling these car parts that accumulate over time. Although he lists these car parts on eBay and websites such as like that, he doesn't get enough exposure to potential buyers. This leaves stress and heartache on his days as these car parts sit in his shop, collecting dust instead of getting him quick cash. With AutoCotics, this problem will be no more, as AutoCotics will offer a professional website, a professional store to list these parts, a community for people just like him, and more exposure to potential buyers.
Now, before we get into the app and the finances, we want to give you some more knowledge on the app so you have a good understanding. These are the users on our app. The first one would be buyer. A buyer is someone who simply looks to modify their cars by browsing car parts on our site. And then we have the trader. A trader is someone who seeks profit or benefit in any way in terms of exchanging, so it could be cash and car parts. That's up to really the trader. Then finally, we have the seller. The seller can be an easy process. You just list your parts, or it can get a little more advanced if you buy our business package. Once they buy our business package, they'll be able to have their own home store. And once they get a little more advanced and sell some more parts, eventually they'll have their own online business.
Though what makes us unique, sites such as eBay Motors list all types of car parts, but with us, we'll be listing car parts such as OEM, CEM, and aftermarket car parts. Finally, we have the fact that we are community-based through promotion of entrepreneurship by encouraging and offering our users to create their own online businesses.
So, obviously, we know that we're not the first business to deal with selling online car parts. For example, here we have our biggest direct competitor, eBay Motors. Whenever someone wants to buy a certain car part, they know they're the go-to spot. What makes us different is that we, as a part of the auto industry, we're part of the auto industry,
It's okay for you guys to help him out. Throw him a word.
He's your teammate.
So, as we know, obviously, we know that we're not the first business to deal with online car parts. For example, here we have our biggest direct competitor, eBay Motors. Whenever someone wants to buy a certain car part, they know that they're the go-to spot. What makes us different is that we, as a part of the auto industry, hold together car enthusiasts and fanatics alike. For example, we have more to offer, which is why here we have things like memberships, OEM, and CM aftermarket car parts, and also promote local businesses. Now, as we know, creating software in terms of apps and websites isn't cheap. For example, here we have things like our app build/designing, which can go from anywhere from $40,000 to $60,000. Next, we have our domain name, which can go as low as $20. And lastly, our servers, which can range anywhere from $100. That will leave us at the margin of around $60,000. Where would we be available? It's simple. We'd be available on the Google App Store and the iOS App Store.
So as you can see, our main revenue stream is going to be coming from sponsorships, collabs with local businesses, following up with ads, taxing, and showcasing home service. Not only that, but we're going to be offering our business package that's going to give you access to the front advertisement page just for $9.99 a month.
Our estimated amount of buyers is listed at 1.6 million people. If each one of these people buy our monthly subscription, which is $10, we'll have 20 million units sold. This will result in $201 million in revenue.
So for our estimated total sold customers is going to be 2,000. For our estimated sold units is going to be 25,000. And for our estimated total revenue is going to be 255,000.
Now, as for our market share, the goal of customers reached in year one will be about 1,900. We got these numbers by going into Facebook and entering our data for our ad campaign. So our budget was a total of $500 over the span of 2 weeks. Therefore, the estimated number is 1,900. We simply want 10% of people to sign up on our Cognito form to show that they're interested. This will be about 190 people. The first year revenue is around 114,000. As for our mock-up, we plan on having the search bar up top and then the top sellers right below that. The top sellers is very important. As we discussed earlier, they will be able to have access to the front page with buying our business package. This will provide more exposure to users and online businesses. Below that, we have parts categories. So you're just different types of cars, rims, tires, suspensions. And then right under that, you have car brands. So that's where you'll find the OEMs, which is parts that are manufactured straight from these companies and listed onto the site.
Now on to our target audience. So we have Tyrone. He's African American, age 31. His hobbies include going to auto body. His hobbies include working on his auto body shop and going to truck shows. On the other hand, we have Antonio, who's Hispanic and age 30. His hobbies include going to car meets and going to the body shops. What do these two have in common? They both are mechanics who have trouble buying and selling the car parts they need, and that's where we come in.
So the marketing tactic we use is smoke test. Essentially, smoke test is where you make an ad campaign, put it out before you actually have a service, to get the information you need to see if your business is actually really needed. We're going to be putting out this ad campaign for 2 weeks with a budget of $500 to $600 on social media platforms such as Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. This ad will lead us to our landing page where we'll have our Cognito form. This Cognito form will gather the information of the name, area, phone, email, etc.
Now, we here at AutoCotics believe that each and every step we take is a step upwards. As you see by our diagram, what we will be doing in the future, on May 4th, we'll be creating ads for different perspectives. Like I talked about earlier, we had the buy, sell, and trade. We'll be creating ads specifically towards those people. May 9th, we will have our ad campaign launch, which will last about 2 whole weeks. And then after that, we plan on interviewing those at car meets to get their feedback on our business idea and things as such. Finally, on June 10th, we will be pitching to at least 5 local body shops over time. Without further ado, we hope you enjoyed our pitch. Thank you.
I really liked your intro. It was really good. So I don't know anything about cars, and you said OEM and CEM. I have no idea what that means. Can you explain that to me?
So a CEM is a part that is manufactured by somebody who is contracted with, say, Honda or confidential specific parts.
Okay.
And then the OEM is an original part, so it's manufactured straight from the company.
Gotcha.
And then an aftermarket is a part that I mean, is no longer available, or that is no longer available, just to purchase.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that's good information to know for those of us who don't know anything about cars. So one thing I noticed was your conversion rate. It seemed pretty high. Can you go back to that slide? Yeah. 17 to 50, is that percent or 17 to 50 people?
Oh, that was actually 17.
People.
Yes.
Okay, so then that's not necessarily a rate. Okay, that makes more sense because if it was percent, I was like, whoa, that's really high.
Is the conversion rate the 10% of 1900?
Yeah, I believe so. Well, actually, no.
We want 10% of
That
that
was just the
1900.
percentage that we wanted to, on our smoke test.
So you want 190 people to pass the smoke test, but what, the 17 to 50 conversions, what are they converted to? To actual customers? Or is this just for the smoke test?
Well, it would be just for the smoke test, so it would be that.
So you need 190, and then you also need 17 to 50. I have a bit of a disconnect between what those two numbers are. Can you explain that for me?
So the estimated conversion rate is probably the estimated amount of people who will actually sign up with us, and the 10% is the amount that we actually want. So.
You're breaking down 10% of 1,900 people.
Okay.
So all the people who actually fill out the form are not necessarily converted. They may click on the ad, but it looks like the estimated conversion rate are the people that you think will actually fill out the form and say they're interested. Do more research into that. Seems like you guys really don't know that just yet. Just clean up the numbers a little bit.
It seems a
right
lot else is thought out, but this is very questionable right here.
here. Is clean up the numbers. While we're on this, where did TAM go? Oh, you did it all on its
Got it.
own. Okay, got
Okay,
it. All right.
okay.
That's a
Yeah,
good breakdown.
it was a
That
little
way you don't.
confusing.
Okay, you went deeper.
Good afternoon, Patina students and staff. This is Mr. Gaines, our campus coach director. Freshman, sophomore, and juniors.
We only have about 6 minutes left. Also, judges, before the next team comes in.
Please go to your whole school 2021-2022 Canvas page or your class up page on Canvas to access the application. Incoming juniors and seniors may run for class leadership or is incoming sophomores may only run for class leadership. If you have additional questions about this, come by room 102 after school. Have a great day.
5 minutes left.
So I'll just butt in real quick. Can you not do the app first? Can you do a website first?
Yeah, we were actually thinking about just being a website because it might make things a lot easier.
Because I can pull a website on my phone still.
Yeah.
I just don't need to download Google Play. And that's definitely something down the pipeline you guys should absolutely aim for. But starting off with a nice, clean website that gives the functionality that you need is much more important than making it glossy and look nice on an actual app. That's going to be very difficult. Luckily, you have people who can help you with that. But still, it's going to be better for you guys to start off with that website, I think. So.
I have the same feedback here. You don't have to be in the Play stores. You can just start with the website.
Did you have a mock-up of what the ads would be?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not necessarily.
No, you do. It didn't.
The
You didn't
ad?
hit play.
Oh, the ad.
The ad. Yeah, it didn't, you just didn't hit play because I don't know if it'll play.
Got it. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes it plays. Sometimes it doesn't.
Okay.
I've got some feedback. Good to see you guys again. So you didn't put in there, since you're saying you're local, right? So social media is great to advertise and budget for, and I mentioned this earlier. There are so many local car clubs that you should be reaching out to and going to their clubs. They have one every single weekend. That wasn't in your pitch. Why not?
It
Like the visiting the clubs and advertising there?
We thought
it's in there.
Yeah.
The steps slide.
We interview those at car meets.
The top step.
But that wasn't in your advertising?
No, actually,
I saw it in there. That should be that's your key demographic for advertising. I mean, you're physically going to meet people and saying, hey, hi, can you sponsor? We want to sponsor a banner. We want to do this. Can we put our banner up at your next car show? Because that's going to directly impact social media because people are going to see your banner. Right? So that should be, I get it that it's on there, that you're interviewing, but if you're local, you need, that means something. That means like, you're going to go and physically go out and meet these people because they're local. I guess I wasn't concentrating, but I didn't hear that, hey, we're going to go out and shake hands and introduce ourselves. We're going to be at these car shows advertising ourselves because that's free advertisement. And then you say, hey, can we put up our banner at your next show? Because they take pictures all the time. I see it every weekend at the Point at Fresno State. I see it at burger joints. I see all these different car clubs, and if you had a banner that's hanging out sponsored by, right? That's free advertising. And then everyone's like, hey, let me check those guys out. Whoa. And all you had to do was spend money on a banner and introduce yourselves, pass out cards like, hey, we're trying to start this. We want to start a club. I agree. You should have just a website. Apps, too expensive. It's just, there's too much. I think here a website would be great. You can just go to the website, and then after it generates more people, then invest in an app. Especially if Apple platform, it's tougher than Android.
Yeah.
I would probably do Android first.
Yeah, you have to.
You have to.
'Cause Apple's
crazy.
You'd be waiting for who knows how long to get approved. How
but
are
if
we
you're-
doing on time, Mr.
yeah.
Mason?
A few more minutes.
If you're truly local, you need to make local people, and I think instead of social media, putting that money in social media, it's going to do you that favor anyways, because they're going to promote with taking pictures of your car, having your banner in their own pictures, having your banner in the background. You spend that money on a banner, you're doing yourself a favor. They're doing the advertising for you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I think that money should be spent more on local, literally physically being there instead of social media advertisements. That's just my opinion. And then after that, then you invest that money.
All right.
You start really, if you're truly local, people want to meet you. If someone says, I support local, then they go on Amazon, they buy stuff. I'm like, well, there's a person literally it's right down the street. Yeah, but you know, it was just more convenient. It's like, that doesn't make any sense, right? So that's where if you truly are trying to attract local people, you have to go out there and be local, truly be local. Advertise at car clubs, show up at car clubs. Not just say you're gonna, it's great to visit our local, you know, online presence. Okay, that's great, but you're not out there with the car clubs. So,
all right.
That's just my feedback.
All right.
All right, good job.
Good job, everybody. That's good advice. That's good advice. That's good advice. I think you guys have that up there. Maybe you just add what he's saying to that. You know what I mean?
Add a few more steps.
Yeah, add a few. Yeah.
But I think that slide was good.
Yeah,
I thought it was a starting point.
So we have one more team. Make sure you leave.